Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about some NFL, some news. So we're gonna get right into it. So let's get some stuff here. So motivation for Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. From Philly Eagles Nation, he said Hurts changed the lock screen on his phone to the picture of him walking off the field after, the Eagles lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, and he isn't letting himself just forget and move on, which will fuel him to work even harder in 2023. So some motivation there. I mean, any player would do this to use it as motivation. I mean, it wouldn't just be Jalen Hurts. I don't think it's cringe. I mean, he's just using his motivation for this upcoming season to see if he can make the Super Bowl again, and then this time win it. So we've had 3 players retire from the NFL. And some pretty young players here. Hashtag Steelers 23-year-old rookie fullback Monte Pottebaum has retired from the NFL. 25-year-old Jabari Zuniga has retired. And 28-year-old running back Sony Michel, after winning 2 Super Bowls, retired from the NFL. So some pretty young players retiring. A lot of early retirements. Not sure why. Maybe they want to be able to go play with their kids. Like, and they just want to enjoy time with their family, their kids, possibly. That's maybe a reason for these early retirements. Or maybe Sony Michel saw the running back market, was like, hell with this, I'm out of here. The tight end, Noah Fant, we have an update about him. He passed his physical and has been activated off the PUP list. I'm just getting all the minor stuff out of the way first with the news. So the athletic tight end came over in the Russell Wilson trade last season, playing all the 17 games. He caught 50 passes for almost 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that's a huge W that he's been activated. So he's back. So they need to really use him a lot this year in the passing games. I feel like he can be a really underrated tight end. So Giants edge, Kayvon Thibodeau says, watching film from last season, quote, kind of disgusts me. I get a little cringe feeling it definitely is a platform to continue to grow, end quote. The 2022 5th overall pick, Thibodeau, showed promise as a rookie, but only had 4 sacks. Clearly wasn't enough to his liking. I mean, I think it's a good mindset. He's just getting pushed around the line of scrimmage. His only move was beating the O-line off the snap. He's probably going to put on some more weight if he wants to be great. But he kind of did get held a lot as well. But people won't forget when he did those snow angels next to Nick Foles when he got injured. So I don't think people will forget about that. Rams, one day after Sony Michel retired, signing veteran running back Royce Freeman. Oh, that's league shaking right there. Rams are in tank mode. So the hashtag Jets will not quote play starters against the Browns on the preseason opener of the Hall of Fame game. Per Robert Saleh, and Zach Wilson will start over Aaron Rodgers, and Mekhi Becton will play as well. So is Becton not a starter? Okay, so I mean, I like what the Jets are doing here, not getting any players injured. Maybe Mekhi Becton needs the reps, so that makes sense. If you want him to get more reps, I think that makes sense. But I knew they probably weren't going to play. I mean, it was kind of obvious. So we have an update. Remember I talked about Garrett Wilson limping off the field a few days ago, off the practice field with apparent ankle injury. So he suffered a low ankle sprain. An update per the team, it took a couple of days to learn the official injury, but it's a low ankle sprain. So, I mean, it's good news. He's going to be back in a couple of days, most likely. Probably to practice. So Aaron Rodgers, he went after Broncos coach Sean Payton over his comments about the Jets and Nathaniel Hackett via Mark Garofalo. He said he needs to, quote, keep my coach's name out of his mouth. Now that's kind of aggressive for the love and peace hippie guy. But that kind of reminds me of the Will Smith, Chris Rock, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Who's he think he is? Aaron Smith? But he never said your coach's name. He never said, like, his name. He just stated the fact that the Broncos were poorly coached, which they are. But I think with Sean Payton, they're going to be much better coached. That's the difference between Nathaniel Hackett and Sean Payton, because Sean Payton will do things different there in Denver than Nathaniel Hackett. Oh, but shiver me timbers, Aaron Rodgers. Dude is so... old man yells at cloud. You're right, this is like two retards fighting. But what's he gonna do about it? Nothing Sean said was wrong. But I'm ready for that October 8th matchup. The Jets playing the Broncos, so at least we'll have something to watch, to care about. But Sean Payton never even said his name. This is just old man yells at cloud. I'm not gonna... so I guess we'll talk about this. Colts QB Anthony Richardson now weighs 255 pounds, which is 11 pounds bigger than what he was at the combine when he ran a 4.43 40 time with 244 pounds. He's been impressing his coaching staff, especially by how quickly he's picking things up. He's been able to take in play calls and speak them clearly in the huddle throughout the off-season practices, which is something rookie quarterbacks often struggle with per Breer. Anthony has shown the capacity to learn fast, and he was recently given first-team reps in training camp as he competes with Gardner Minshew for the QB1 job. But he's barely 21. He's probably still growing, man. I mean, I want to see him ball out. I've said he might be a bust, which he still could be, but I don't want to wish for somebody to fail. I hope he proves me wrong. But he's packing that muscle. I'm not going to say you can't say he's a bust, because he hasn't even played an NFL game yet. So, I'm not going to say that. So an update about Danielle Hunter. We talked about maybe he could be maybe potentially trade. They were taking calls, but an update after exploring trade options. I guess they couldn't find a trade option, so the Vikings and pass rusher Danielle Hunter agreed on a new one-year deal. That deal that's worth $20 million per season, or worth $20 million per rap sheet, and a $17 million guaranteed, and no tag clause. This dude's so underrated. He goes under the radar. And even in 2018 and 2019, nobody talked about him. He had 14.5 sacks both seasons, 10.5 this year. He just goes so under the radar. So it's a one-year deal. So I think it's going to be he's going to get paid in the off-season. If he has another like 10.5 or more sack a year, he's going to get paid in the off-season. Dude's so underrated. So we have an update. Patriots top pass rusher Matthew Judon would like his contract adjusted according to Phil A. Perry. He had 15.5 sacks last year and 12.5 the year before. Then when he joined the Pats as a big free agent signing, he hasn't been participating much in practice the past couple of days, mostly just conditioning work. So his contract rates 20th among edge rushers in AAV. And he signed a 4-year, $56 million contract in 2021 and produced almost 30 sacks in the last 2 seasons. He's no question top 5 pass rusher, but can he set the edge in the run game for him? We'll see about that. But they should just pay the man. Because he deserves to be paid. He produces, pay him what he's worth. You should just pay him what he's worth, in my opinion. But they've had open dialogue recently about his contract, sources tell Mike Reese. And the Bengals recently rewarded Trey Hendrickson, and added $5 million to his 2023 pay, which could be a factor. So, I think they should just pay the man, to be honest. I mean, come on. So we had an update today that Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook is currently at the Jets facility and is visiting. The team sources confirm Hard Knocks is there to film parts of it. So that's basically saying Dalvin Cook's going to sign with the Jets, basically. He's putting the pen to paper. He's a New York Jet at this point. I mean, there's no way he doesn't sign with them. So Eli Apple has officially signed with the Dolphins, and he officially signed. He's going to be burnt toast in practice with Tyreek Hill. Jaguars' Travis Etienne shared his thoughts on the change of the running back market. Quote, "The market is what the market is. You have to diversify your game. You can't just be a downhill bruiser. We have to continue to evolve and grow our game." And Etienne pointed to 49ers Christian McCaffrey, who got paid because he contributes in the passing game as well as rushing. I mean, Austin Ekeler and Christian McCaffrey are big contributors. Austin Ekeler mostly in the passing game. Hence why I think Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted higher than expected, because he's a threat in the running and passing game. But the issue is high volume running backs' career are over at 28. They're just not as good. The market definitely maybe should be higher, but I don't know. It's just hard to pay running backs when they're constantly like injury prone, or they just fall off. So it's some more news from Saturday. Or a few things, I guess. Steelers signed former Jets linebacker Quan Alexander. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor requested a trade. It's the next thing I'll talk about. The last thing I'm probably going to really talk about, mostly. He requested a trade. The team owner, Jim Irsay, declined. But yeah, he officially requested that trade, which is just wild. He requested the trade, and the owner even said like he had some back problems. They weren't going to pay him. He had like some back issue, and had like back pain or something. So that's basically why they didn't pay him. That's basically why he's requesting a trade, because he probably thinks he deserves to be paid a lot more. But it's kind of hard to when he had all those injuries last season. But maybe that's just a one-season deal where he had all those injuries. But I feel like his agent is kind of doing too much. Or not his agent. It's just the owner is. It's the owner making all these comments. Absurd. He said he never had back pain, never reported back pain. Not sure who quote sources are, but find new ones. Who's the source? The owner? It's just Jim Irsay. It's just such a bad owner now. One of their best offensive players. And I know he requested a trade. I don't think they're going to trade him though. But yeah, it's really all to say for the NFL. So, till next time, Peace.